So, a bit ago, Joe Fazer released a video titled, "I Hired a Fat Personal Trainer." It went viral, and it spawned a huge debate. Can you be fat and still be a fitness professional? In the very beginning of the video, Joe highlights a few examples from TikTok to set the stage.
But nowadays, scrolling through social media, I see people who aren't necessarily in the best shape being personal trainers and giving out advice.
Hi, I'm Roy. I am a fat personal trainer.
My name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a powerlifter, and this is what my body looks like.
And honestly, when I looked into them, some of them are the real deal. He shows a woman named Carrie Harvey who is pulling deadlifts that would crush the average gym goer. He shows a guy named Roy Belzer who has the mobility of a gymnast despite having a dad bod. So when it comes to the debate on fat personal trainers, Joe already showed a couple who proved the caricature we all possibly have in our heads to be incorrect. Fat personal trainers who actually train and can train exist. But then there is Rhiannon, the trainer Joe actually hired.
This is Rhiannon, a fully qualified personal trainer who's on the side of you don't need to be in great shape to be a PT.
You can't assume I'm unfit based on how I look, but you are.
She doesn't have Carrie's strength. She doesn't have Roy's mobility. She doesn't have a single notable athletic feat to her name. So how does she exist within this industry? I dug into her business a little bit, and I realized she's not playing the same game as them. Carrie and Roy are in the business of performance and personal training. Rhiannon is in the business of something else. That is why I don't think Joe Fazer hired a fat personal trainer. So what did he actually hire? Watch the rest of the video to find out. And before we even get into this, let me clarify my fitness background. I, myself, I'm an NASM certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. When someone hires me, they aren't just paying for a gym buddy, they're paying for competence. They're paying for someone who actually understands biomechanics and who can program for objective results and actually practice what they preach. I am taking clients currently, but more info on that at the end of the video, or click on the Google form in the description to contact me. Now, on to the video.
This is Rhiannon.
Hello.
My trainer for today.
Right, now I'm not going to train you hard. You know this, right? Because I'm going to treat you as though...
I was a normal client.
Yeah.
So, red flag number one. Did you catch that? She says she's going to treat him like a normal client. And then she immediately defines that as not training hard. But the thing is, even with normal clients who aren't gym bros, you're supposed to train them hard. That's literally the job. You apply stress so that the body adapts. If your baseline for a normal client is easy, you aren't selling fitness. You're selling comfort.
As somebody who's a gym goer.
But surely you have clients who come to you saying, I want to build some muscle.
Oh yeah, so we can work in the, I can never say this word, hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy, yeah.
We can work in that and we can do, sets, reps, all of that stuff. I can do that.
Okay, stop. She is a certified personal trainer, and she cannot pronounce the word hypertrophy. In case you don't know, hypertrophy is just the scientific word for muscle growth. It's basically the entire point of our industry, or the overwhelming portion of it at least. It is practically chapter 1 of every fitness textbook. For a trainer to not know how to say it, that absolutely astonishes me. It's like a doctor who doesn't know how to pronounce Ritalin or anesthesia.
The clients I help are people who, they decide they want to do something, but then their anxiety is so high for whatever reason that they can't walk in the door because they don't know what then happened. I want to make it accessible for anybody to feel as though they can come.
Now, I want to be fair here. I'm going to pause and give her credit. The concept of what she is doing is actually great. There is a huge market of neurodivergent people or anxious people who are terrified of commercial gyms. Specializing in that niche is just smart business. And honestly, I consider it a noble goal. I don't take issue with that part at all. But here is the problem. Having a safe niche does not excuse you from having professional standards. You can be kind, you can be inclusive, and you can be safe, but you still have to be a trainer. And as we are about to see, she uses inclusivity as a shield to hide the fact she simply isn't good at the job.
Doing the military press, 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Pop your hands just after the little bend. So you're going to stand with your feet like shoulder width apart for him to do. Alternate hammer curl. Then we'll superset in with tricep push downs with this.
Now, let's look at the actual workout she designed. Because remember, her defense is that she is a qualified professional. So what is the program? The military press, a compound move. The lateral pull down, a compound move. Dumbbell lateral raises, an isolation or accessory. Hammer curls, isolation or accessory. Tricep pushdowns, isolation or accessory. Do you see the problem here? 3 out of the 5 exercises are isolation or accessory movements. In case you don't speak gym bro, isolation movements like curls or pushdowns only work one specific muscle. They are the cherry on top. Compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and the bench press use multiple muscle groups to move heavy weight. They are the whole Sunday. She fed him a bowl of cherries and told him it was the whole ass Sunday. This isn't just nitpicking, leaving out an entire plane of motion. The horizontal push/pull is absolutely flabbergasting and a sign of someone who has no idea what they are doing. So 60% of the entire workout is fluff work. She has him doing accessory movements for his arms and side delts, but she completely forgot to program a chest compound or a horizontal row. If you are training a normal client, you focus on big compound movements to get the most bang for your buck. And the military press already hits front delts and triceps. You don't need to immediately follow up with lateral raises and pushdowns unless you are a bodybuilder bringing up lagging parts. Joe was able to point out how it missed a chest exercise.
There was no chest exercise in this workout either, which for upper body I would have expected.
But to be frank, I am legitimately surprised he did not critique it more. And I honestly do think it's doing a disservice to his fans by not critiquing and pointing out that this is very poor programming, and there are a lot of flaws in her logic and also her behavior throughout this video as well. Because the sentiment in his comments section is defending this fat personal trainer, saying she makes people comfortable. She seems nice and all that kind of stuff, but if she's trash at her job, doesn't know how to program things, and doesn't push her clients to be able to get the goals they want to achieve, such as hypertrophy, weight loss, or any of that kind of stuff, then she's not only not a personal trainer by the metrics that we are going over, she is also just flat out bad at personal training. And I don't say that as an insult. I say it as an objective fact based on what she is displaying here in this video, especially right now with this set of exercises where it was her chance to show she knows what she is doing.
I guess a big question is, what's your response to people saying that you shouldn't be a personal trainer?
Honestly, my response is that the fact that they think that health and fitness is based entirely on weight, which is what they're judging me on. For me, health and fitness is not just about weight. It's everything from your mental health to your cardiovascular health. Anybody can be a personal trainer if they train and they qualify and they get insurance and they get a job and they can get clients.
Fair enough.
She argues that health isn't entirely based on weight. And sure, on a surface level, I agree. You can be skinny and unhealthy, but physics is physics. If you are obese, you objectively have worse cardiovascular health. Your heart has to work harder, your joints are under constant stress, and your inflammation is higher. That isn't an opinion, that is biology. But the part that really gets me is when she says anyone could be a trainer if they qualify. I looked into her background. She has only been in the gym for 3 years. In this industry, that is the blink of an eye. She is barely out of the novice phase herself. She hasn't put in the years of grinding. She also claims on her website to be a strong woman competitor, but she has not even competed once yet at the time of the recording of this video. She put that in her website months prior to the competition she entered. So, a little editor's note to give context at this point. The competition she was going to join happened in early February, but she ended up getting sick and moved to do a new competition in May of 2026.
I'm Rhiannon, and if you're following me, it might be because I was documenting my journey to my first ever strongwoman competition in Scotland in February. Well, a couple of plans have needed to change, and my first competition will now be in May in Bristol, and I'm so excited and more time to prepare.
While I understand that health issues arise, the fact of the matter is she is still falsely claiming to be a strong woman, both on her website as I showed, but also on her TikTok. That is just flat out misleading until after she actually competes. Like, I've been doing jujitsu for about a year and a half, right? And I'm going to be competing in summer, or at least trying to. But if you ask me if I am a competitive grappler yet, my answer is going to be not yet. Because I haven't competed, I'm only in the preparation stage. Same for her, she's only in the preparation stage. Until she actually competes, she's not a competitive strongwoman. I wish her the best regarding this competition, but I just wanted to add this to justify my main point a little bit and give a little bit of extra information on this. Now, back to the video. Not to mention, she hasn't coached many clients to actual outcomes. And speaking of outcomes, let's look at her success stories. Now, I want to be very precise here with this. I scoured her entire site and found 9 testimonials. You'll see them on screen now. Only 2 of them are about weight loss. The other 7 are just about how she helped them step in the door. That's not personal training. That is just emotional support. And do you notice what else is missing? Pictures. There isn't a single before and after photo on her entire website. In the fitness industry, text means nothing. Anyone can type, "I lost 50 pounds" into a text box. The currency of our profession is visual proof. You show the work. You show the change. Now, Rhiannon is, based on how she talks and advertises herself, basically a body positive advocate. You would think she would be proud to show the diverse bodies getting stronger and changing. But instead, her results are a ghost town. It's all just text on a screen. And without the receipts, that isn't portfolio. It's just creative writing. A little editor's note real quick. Something that I wanted to include real quick that I found while editing this video is that she addressed this criticism a bit ago on Instagram. So I want to go over it real quick, just so she can't go point at that as a response, because it's really a bad one, honestly. She says that my clients are more than a set of pictures. Working with me is safe. It isn't about being exposed. Now, let's be incredibly clear. In the fitness industry, transformation photos aren't about exposing or showing off clients. They are evidence. If I go to a hair transplant surgeon, I don't want to hear that their clients are more than a set of hairlines and that the office is a safe space. I want to see that the hair actually grew back. By reframing result tracking as exposure or unsafe, she's effectively making herself unverifiable. She's asking you to pay a professional premium of 50 pounds per hour based entirely on vibes and safety, while explicitly rejecting the only objective metric of success in this industry: physical change. It's one thing to be a supportive coach. It's another to use safety as a shield to hide the fact that your programming, which we've already established is scientifically hollow, isn't actually moving the needle for anybody. Now back to the video. And there is a very dark and depressing thing she says later, which I believe disqualifies her from personal training entirely, but I will save that for when we get to it. We are going to skip this next section of the video because we're focused on Rhiannon here and not Bobby. So let's just get on to the debate portion.
Hello.
How are we doing?
All right.
Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Something I want you to notice real quick is how she shakes his hand right there. May seem trivial to point out at first, but keep watching to see why I point this out. Now, also, before we go on, I want to say for this little debate session, Rhiannon says some things I agree with, and Bobby says some things I agree with. And you know what? I will put one here right now, just to show that I'm not making this video solely to bash on Rhiannon.
It's okay to be overweight/obese. Okay.
So being overweight, I obviously work with people who are overweight. They are putting themselves at risk of health scares. It's quite unhealthy. I mean, I wouldn't want someone to die.
My reason for going over this side, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being bigger, because I think if we lived in a world that just said it was wrong, or that it's not okay to be big, I think that would be disadvantaging all the people who are big, who maybe are big for various reasons. It could be a medication, it might be mental health, it could be something that...
There is no medication that actually makes you overweight, because if that was the case, then they would be prescribing it to people who have anorexia, and that would be solved tomorrow.
But there are side effects of medication that can lead to people...
Yeah.
Are you a pharmacist?
No, I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
The way you become overweight is indulging into calories more than you're burning in a day.
Indulging makes it sound like someone is enjoying. Do you mean it to have that?
No, not necessarily. Not a lot of people enjoy the calories. I have a lot of clients I work with and they will eat because of problems they've got at home, relationships and things. So when they come to me to lose weight, I will try and wrap my head around why they might be that way.
Okay, let's
Now, I agree and disagree with both sides here. Yes, I agree with Bobby. Being overweight to obese is absolutely not ideal. That being said, Rhiannon absolutely makes a valid point, saying there's nuance to it. Medication side effects, various conditions which make it harder to lose weight than normal, these are things it's pretty obvious Bobby did not account for. He talks about calories in and calories out. Inherently, I don't disagree. But what about a woman with PCOS, for instance? That condition is notorious for making it significantly harder to lose weight due to elevated insulin resistance, hormonal hunger, and a lower basal metabolic rate, among other issues. And that's only one example, one that I have come across with clients and friends I know personally. What this indicates to me regarding Bobby is that he has not had a very diverse array of clients because there are a lot of conditions out here which can significantly impact someone's weight loss journey. On that note, Rhiannon has a legitimate point, and I side with her on the nuance of this topic. But here's the problem. Having a medical condition doesn't give you a license to ignore the profession's standards. It should make you more of an expert on how to manage it and be able to achieve weight loss, not an excuse to give up and call it health.
Being overweight is a choice.
Before they even open their mouths with this question, let me just say that I despise the framing of this topic. Nothing ever comes productive by framing obesity as a choice besides bickering about semantics, willpower, and the such. It makes one side shame the other, and the other side come up with excuses to justify their current condition and to shut down internally to any valid points the other side may bring up. I don't think it's malicious, admittedly, but it is entirely counterproductive to having a thoughtful discussion.
I don't know what goes on in anyone else's head, so I'll talk about myself.
Yeah.
I don't choose to be this weight. I don't wake up every day and think I choose this to be like this. I don't wake up every day though and choose to eat in a calorie deficit. So I think I'm neutral because the reason I am the way I am is because of my mental health, and I don't choose my mental health.
If something's affecting your mental health, you can't control that. What you can control though is what you eat. However, it might be hard. There might be times in your day where it is hard to control that, but you definitely can have the choice of whether you want to eat or be in a calorie deficit.
I disagree.
Okay.
I eat as a form of self-harm. The reason I am the size I am is because, yes, in that moment, I guess I'm choosing to eat. However, the opposite for me...
You might not want to choose to do that.
The opposite for me is that I may not be sat here because my mental health is bad.
Well, I wish you all the best. I honestly do.
And that's the difference.
Should we leave it that like that? Yeah. Got one more statement.
First, let me say this. I think both sides here are missing the life experience necessary to emphasize with the other side. Bobby thinks you can just choose that, oh, it might be hard, but you can choose what you eat at the end of the day. That is technically true. What he does not understand, however, is that advice is way easier said than done. There is a reason why it's legitimately difficult, borderline at times feeling impossible for many, to reach a caloric deficit for a sustained period of time. And it's because the chemistry in your brain makes it really hard to eat in a caloric deficit significant enough to lose that weight long term for a large portion of people, let alone without relapsing. If it were that easy, then we wouldn't be in an obesity epidemic. I just do not think he grasps the struggle here for overweight people. Now I do, because I am type 2 diabetic, although I put it in remission. I lost like 60 pounds half a decade ago and reversed some conditions which almost permanently destroyed my body, such as fatty liver disease. So I do empathize with Rhiannon's side here. But speaking of Rhiannon, what she just said there, she can't control her diet. She eats as a form of self-harm. She not only flat out gave up on trying to keep the weight off, which I know she relapsed because she has lost the weight before, but now she actively harms herself by remaining obese and openly acknowledges it. I am going to be completely blunt here and serious. This right here should disqualify her from being a trainer. And I am not just saying that morally, but by her own standards. If a financial advisor told you, I'm currently gambling away my life savings as a form of self-harm, would you hire them to manage your money? Of course not. So why are we pretending this is okay in fitness? And this is where her defense completely falls apart. When people point this out, she doubles down. She posted on Instagram a bit ago a false equivalency about a hairdresser versus a personal trainer. And she says at the end, in addition to my weight, you do know my qualifications, my client's feedback, and my specialty area. Judge that instead. Okay, so let us judge you by the standards of what personal trainers do. Alongside everything we talked about prior, lack of gym experience, not being able to pronounce hypertrophy, no visual proof of client transformations, and almost nothing on achieving goals, you actively suffer from the very same issues your target client base most likely suffers from. If you cannot even figure out how to fix your issues and get good outcomes for yourself, why exactly should anyone believe you can fix the issues your clients are suffering from? You talk a lot about getting people into the gym, and that's your entire brand. But not only do you have no solid evidence of creating outcomes, you can't even do that for yourself. You cannot lead people out of a cycle that you are still actively stuck in and openly refuse to fix. What next? Are we going to let alcoholics lead AA meetings or something? And the crazy part is, this isn't even the most disqualifying thing she has said all video. Keep watching.
You need to be in good shape to be a personal trainer.
So not necessarily, you don't need to be in like top tier shape to be a personal trainer. You can be out of shape. The only exception being is if I personally think you've been in shape before. I would always practice what you preach, and if you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk, because it will be a lot more motivating for someone who can then see if you can do it. Oh, well, I can do it. Morally for me, I would go to someone who's in shape, or at least has been in shape.
I have a variety of clients in terms of body weight and shape. People come to me because I can relate to their challenges. I feel that if the difference to somebody starting a health and fitness journey is because there's a bigger personal trainer who they can relate to, and that personal trainer knows what they need to do to lose weight, but actually right now is focused on good mental health and just being stronger in the gym. If that personal trainer can help one big person, then they should exist and they should be able to be a personal trainer.
I don't have an issue with what Bobby said here, to be honest, and I don't have an issue with Rhiannon's stance either. If the fat personal trainer knows what they are doing and can get results, good on them. We even saw those two trainers at the beginning who are fat, yet they clearly seem to know what they are doing, one being a powerlifter and the other a mobility coach. The issue is with Rhiannon herself, but no need to retread that when we already went over it.
Personally, wouldn't take advice off. Let's say, for example, I want to set up a business. I wouldn't go to someone who's never owned a business.
But that would be like going to a personal trainer who's not a qualified personal trainer. That's different to this because I am qualified.
I feel like it's just morally correct for a personal trainer to be in shape. That's all.
Morally correct. So the idea that you think that the way I exist in the world and the job I choose to do is morally incorrect, which is pretty much what you've just said, really bothers me. I show people they don't need to look a certain way to join a gym.
No, 100%.
Without me putting myself out there and doing what I do, they would never walk through the gym door because the gym is overwhelming. The fact that you feel that me doing that job is morally not great has bothered me because
You can do it. That's what you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
But it's morally incorrect.
If you're out of shape, then
so
it's unhealthy. Again, it's unhealthy. It's just unhealthy.
You know, if it was any other fat trainer saying this, I would arguably be fully on the side of the fat trainer here. Unfortunately, it's her who is saying this, but if we are to isolate the words as their own words, I don't disagree. Putting my philosophical views to the side here, the idea that it is morally incorrect for a fat person to train is pretty fucking macho-brained. A personal trainer is supposed to get results for a client. If a fat trainer can do that, then what's the moral issue? I really don't get it. He just asserts that it's morally wrong because they don't motivate their clients or something with their physique. It's stupid, and it seems like a somewhat toxic gym bro view to have, to be quite frank. Bobby likely means well, but he's making the same mistake Rhiannon is. He's making it about feelings and morals instead of biology and results. In a professional setting, calling someone morally incorrect because of their BMI isn't coaching. It's just posturing.
I think we have very different clients.
I really don't think we do. I've got kids who are overweight, kids who are underweight, women who are overweight, women who are underweight. But I do have clients the exact same as you.
What, who are scared to go into?
Oh, mate, I have to sit outside of the gym with two clients, and the hour that they paid for me, they were too scared to go into the gym.
All of my clients are that.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is a little bit intimidated to go into a new place.
I think there is a difference.
I don't think there is.
You say that your clients come to you because you are the body that they want.
No, not necessarily. I've got women. I don't think women want to look like me.
Okay, so in shape then.
Yeah.
My clients see success as me because mentally I'm existing in the gym.
So Rhiannon, would you say that your main goal for your clients is not necessarily to get them into shape?
Yeah, no, not at all. My main goal is to get them started on their health and fitness journey.
100%.
But you think it's about getting in shape. I don't.
And mentally. I just said mentally.
But my thing is like I'm a personal trainer to help an individual do things safely.
The exact same as me.
I think with Bobby
We're both agreeing.
It's always coming back to being in shape though. I am a personal trainer to help individuals come into a gym and safely navigate equipment and how things work. It's not about being in
I 100% do that too.
There really isn't even much to say here. She just flat out says her main goal isn't even to get people into shape. She just gets them in the building, as if it's like trying to nudge a friend into a new hobby, like joining a League of Legends group or something. Hiring her for 50 pounds to get you in the building is like hiring a driving instructor who says their main goal isn't to teach you how to drive, but just to help you feel at ease sitting in the driver's seat while the car is in park. I am genuinely sitting here at a loss for words. She just says it right on camera to our faces proudly. There isn't even an argument to make that she's implicitly not a trainer or whatever. It's loud and proud. How can anyone from this comment section hear her say that and walk away with positive impressions of her? She is basically wasting people's money. If a guy like Bobby can get people to walk in while he looks like that, chances are most trainers can do that too. She isn't that unique. She isn't even doing her job. She already showed she can't even program a proper workout earlier to begin with too. Like, she basically has nothing substantial in her favor here to argue that she is a competent trainer. You talk about teaching people how to use gym equipment. You can either look that up as a YouTube short or just ask a fellow gym member or even ask a trainer, and they'll more than likely show you for free. Now, look, as a trainer, if a client comes to me with gym anxiety, my job is to give them the physical competence and strength that destroys that anxiety. Real confidence is a byproduct of achievement. By her own admission, she is selling a participation trophy for 50 pounds a session. She isn't opening the door for these people. She's trapping them in a cycle where they pay a premium to feel safe, while their health markers stay exactly where they started or possibly even deteriorate. Whether or not her intentions are good or bad, that isn't inclusive. It's predatory.
Individuals come into a gym and safely navigate equipment and how things work. It's not about being...
I 100% do that too. I've helped so many people like yourself.
I wouldn't go to you as a personal trainer personally.
No worries, that's fine.
Why is that?
I want someone who isn't going to make me feel bad for existing in this body.
I don't want you to feel bad. I want to help you.
The approach is very different though, and I think...
I really don't think it is.
I think it is, and I think we appeal to different people, and fundamentally, I think that's the difference.
Disagree.
In my job, I exist in the gym to bring people in, show them how to do things safely.
Brilliant. I do that too.
But I'm morally incorrect, and you're morally right, so what's the difference there?
Well, I would say I'm physically healthy and you are physically unhealthy. That's the only difference. I'm not saying I'm better or worse. The question being, is it okay for a personal trainer to be in shape or out of shape? I would say a personal trainer has to be in shape. It's a health industry. It's a fitness industry.
Yeah.
You've got to be healthy.
You don't have to be though.
No, you don't. You've got free will. You can do whatever you want. I hope you carry on doing your job and you keep continuing to help people. It's all that matters at the end of the day. You're actually helping people, so... Oh, well done. I mean, yeah.
She says her job as a trainer is to bring people in and show them how to do things safely. Like I just said, you could just get that for free just by asking somebody at the gym for help. I've even done it before for numerous members who never even sign up for a free fitness assessment. They can also just look it up, like I said. You're not providing a service worth whatever you are charging Rhiannon. And then that lack of a handshake at the end. I actually cringed watching that. Now, like I said, I don't think Bobby is ill-intentioned. I just think he's misguided in some aspects on this topic, which many people admittedly are. Rhiannon, however, look, I get why you may not like the guy. The morality talk and all that, I can understand how that makes you mad. But you are a fitness professional. Act like it. Agree or disagree with the guy. He did not have to try to shake your hand, but he did, despite some pretty vehement issues with your worldview. That signals, to me at least, he is here in good faith. But you not reciprocating that at a basic level just indicates a level of maturity that, to me at least, shouldn't be present in a job where we are supposed to keep a level head in the face of all kinds of issues. That refusal wasn't just immature, it was a professional white flag. It was the moment she stopped even pretending to be a peer in this industry. It proves that she isn't playing the same game as trainers like Carrie or Roy from the beginning of the video, who actually focus on performance as far as I'm aware. And that is the real tragedy here. Joe Fazer didn't hire a fat personal trainer. He hired a fitness tourist, a gym chaperone, an identity activist even. He hired someone who wants the title and the 50-pound an hour paycheck, but refuses to provide the actual service of transformation. If you are okay paying a premium for a chaperone to walk you into a building, that is your choice. But don't call it personal training. It is an insult to every trainer out there at any size who actually does the work to change their clients' lives. Rhiannon asked us to judge her on her qualifications and results. I did. The verdict is that she is illiterate in her own profession's language and currently in a state of professional relapse. She isn't an inclusive alternative. She is a standard breaker in the bad way. Now, we have reached the end of the video, and I just want to offer my services real quick. I offer online training and personal training that focuses on objective capacity. No identity activism, no participation trophies, just science-based programming that actually delivers results. And I don't mean the Jeff Nippert style study hopping kind where we reinvent the wheel every time a new abstract drops. I mean fundamental physiological principles that don't change with the algorithm. I've done the work myself, losing 60 pounds and reversing type 2 diabetes, as I said before. I know the biology is hard, but I also know the solution isn't to lie to you. Click the link in the description below to fill out the little Google form or whatever kind of form I put down there to apply for a spot. And outside of that, I don't have very much else to say, so yeah, thanks for watching. One last little thing I want to add. I'm recording this right before I upload the video. Rhiannon, assuming you somehow do come across this video, the only thing I ask if you're going to be responding to this is either react to the entire thing, so all your audience who watches this as well sees the full context of why I'm saying what I'm saying, or if you're going to be uploading clips or something to Instagram, include the context of what I'm responding to from the video, so that way people know why I'm saying what I'm saying. And that's the only thing I request. If you're going to see this, I'll be putting this in the description and the pinned comment as well, just to make sure you don't miss what I said here. And other than that, yeah, see you guys later.